And hello, everybody. The midweek Macca break is back, and we've got a new album to discuss. We got variants to discuss. We got chart success to discuss. We've got a lot of things to discuss about this brand new album that everybody and their mother just seems to love. And I am back, Tom Hunyadi of Two Legs, and I'm pleased to have my friend Aaron Badgley back. As you know, Aaron is the writer of two books, so one's slightly bigger than the other. We got the Ringo book, we got the George Harrison book, and he's working on another book, right?
I am. I'm working hard. Hardly working.
Hardly working. And we're still waiting on that Paul book from Aaron. We don't know if we'll ever get it, but
I'll make you a deal. I'll put it out when the Back to the Egg box comes out.
Well, we might be waiting a while. We've got James here, member of the James Gang, a member of the Discord fam. How you doing? And then we've got hold on, come on, here we go. We got James Boyce, another member of the James Gang. It looks like we only have Jameses here right now, because then we also have James Liverani. Wait a minute, where is he at? There he is, James Liverani. So how you doing? We got a couple members of the James Gang here. It's good to see you guys. We've got Buddy here. Hello, Buddy. And then we got Kent here. Love the album. It's a masterpiece. All the best from Sweden. We're going to talk about this masterpiece here in a little bit. And we also got Tony DeMeo here. That's right. We got Dino, we got Tone and Mrs. Bealey Tone at the Roundhouse for the Paul interview, which should be happening soon.
I have to thank Tony D. Thank you for the silver vinyl. Thank you.
Yes. Way to go, Tony. We can talk about that too, because Friday on opening day, game day, if you want to call it. I stopped at Target first. I picked up the red vinyl there, and I'll show that here in a little bit. And then after that, I went to the record store, one of the record stores that were participating here in Michigan. I think it was around 10 places. And this was the first time I went to this particular record store, Detroit's Record Club or something like that, on Woodward. And I was second in line. I got there. Someone else was already in line, so that was fine. But anyways, before he opened the store, the owner came out and talked to us, and there was like 7 people in line at that point in time. He says, okay, I got 10 copies, so you all are good. So he ordered like 20 copies, but he only got 10. So a lot of these places, I mean, the when they ship, I mean, a lot of them do get heavily allocated. So sometimes people don't always get what they ordered.
Well, it's 10 more than the entire country of Canada got.
Really?
No one got it. Didn't come out here.
No. Even though even though it was presented that Canada was going to have some listening parties, right?
Well, I can talk about that later. I'll tell you what the listening parties are.
Okay, fair enough. Tony's saying hi. We've got Christopher here. How you doing, buddy? And then Tony's asking if you got it yet in the mail.
No, not yet. This is Canada.
Yeah,
it'll come.
Yeah, right. James says my friend Chris is in the 5th row. Yeah, James sent me a picture of his friend's location there, and I know we're all just like, why aren't we there?
So James, I tried to get tickets, and my daughter tried to get tickets. She's in Dublin, and I was in the waiting room, and it said, you're now going to be join the queue, and before it even joined the queue, it said sold out. Go home.
Go home. You're done here. Tony says, I got the blue splatter and read yesterday. I am still waiting for my blue splatter, and it's pissed me off. Yeah, it's the only one I'm waiting for. It's the only thing I am waiting for, and I gotta have it. in my hands. Sam, how you doing, my friend? No, I don't. Is there a new Paul album out? I don't know.
The Man on the Run soundtrack.
Yeah, another variant of the Man on the Run soundtrack. We got George here. George, good to see you, my friend.
Hey, George.
Good to see you. James said, yeah, sold out in under a minute.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh, he knows, right? 4D, man, how you doing, my friend? Crack open a beer, buddy. Wait till the color variants on the hoodie come. Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a couple more colors of the hoodie coming out soon. I can feel it, right? Yeah. Anyways, come on, let's go here. George says, hello to all. James here says, I've listened to the album over 40 times. That's great.
That's because
love
you
it.
I love
it. Yeah. Tony says, you got to have it handed. Tony, how are you dealing with all this capitalism, my friend? I hope you're doing okay with all this spending that you're doing on McCartney lately. And
sure.
And let's see here, Kent. There it is. Yeah. Kent says, I got the blue splatter. He was 2515 of 4,000. Very cool. Let's see here. Hold on here. Sam says, who else was disappointed in the third man variant? No winner. So yeah, that and the picture disc as well. You would have thought the picture disc would have came in some kind of like rice sleeve or something like that. But I'll show all the variants that I have. Like I said, I'm only waiting on the blue splatter, which everybody everybody who has gotten it has shown it on Facebook and whatnot. We got Dan here. Dan, what's going on? So the hell, guys, haven't changed my mind about the album after 12 days. Fantastic. I agree. And we're going to also talk about 5 of our favorite aspects of this album. And once we get started, I'd love to hear, 5 things that you guys love about this album. But don't do it just yet. Okay? Let's see here. Pablo says, hi, both. I got all variants now, but still waiting on my Amoeba edition to arrive from my in-laws. Yeah, I got my Amoeba. When did I get mine? I got mine on, what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, I got mine on Monday. Tony says his splatter was 3017. Very cool. James says, hi, my high res download was a pink variant. Very good. Black Bear says, I had the gatefold gold, silver, white, Amoeba, orange, but missed out on the blue splatter. Yeah, that kind of went quickly. That's one of those things where once it's up, you got to get it. You got to get it right away. Tony says here, when I opened the picture disc, the plastic ripped. Ooh.
Mine too.
Was Orson Welles not in the third man edition? No, he was not.
I love that.
James always has some of the best comments during the streams here.
James, do you not think the theme song to the third man is remarkably reminiscent of SpongeBob SquarePants theme song? Just saying. Not the theme song, but the music they play in SpongeBob. It's like, wow, my goodness, that's third man. Anyways.
Yeah. I'm going to the Detroit Institute of Arts on Thursday. And guess what is less than a mile away from that? The Third Man Records in Detroit. So I'm going to try to go there after we're done with the museum. So
can I tell you a quick story? Can I tell you a quick story? Last time I was in London,
please.
I went to the Third Man record store in London, and they just sell Third Man records, obviously. And I said, you wouldn't happen to have an extra copy of McCartney 3 on yellow vinyl, would you? And the guy behind the counter looked at me and goes, I don't know if you're winding me up or you're drunk. I said I could be both.
Yeah, the 333 version of that one. Yeah, I know you've got like 10 back there, Yeah.
I know, maybe leftover. I don't know. I'd ask.
Yeah, you never know until you ask. Yes. Anyways, Blackbird, I would love a No Inner Sleeve for the new Stones album because that album cover is terrible. Okay. Well, I'm going to get back to the comments here in a minute, but not Tone, Aaron, how have you been, my friend?
I've been well. How have you been?
I've been well as well.
I even got a haircut for today, you see.
You look at that. Isn't that a cute? Very good, my friend. Very good. Listen, you've been sitting on this album for about 6 years now, right? Or at least 6 months, anyways. And
2.5, yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, what's your feeling still about it? I mean, are you listen? How often have you listened to the album since it's come out? How often did you listen to the album before the album came out with your sample?
I listen to it every day, at least once. I must be honest. I haven't been this excited about an album in quite some time. And as much as I loved Ringo's last album, and I do, Long, Long Road, this album has really just kind of hit me in a way, maybe in my age stage in life.
Right.
But for the opening track, because I love the opening track to the very end, my opinion hasn't changed. And I've listened to it a lot. And my poor wife, she's actually, I think she said yesterday, I have Stockholm syndrome. I'm starting to love this album more than I love anything else. But so but it's a kind of album that every time I listen to it, I hear something I didn't pick up on before.
Yeah.
You know, like I was listening to it a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, and I went, that solo at the end of As You Lie There sounds like Come Together a bit. And it never dawned on me the first 40 times. And then I went, I know what he's doing here. So, you know, I love the album. I had to sit on it. I couldn't really say. Universal was very strict with me, as they were with Ringo's album. But
I almost hopped in my car and drove over to.
You're always
you would have got a knock on your door. It's like.
You are always
go ahead, bud.
You're always welcome. I was talking to Johnny D, and you know, we're talking. I said, "Oh, I got the new Frampton album a month before it came out," and he's, "What's it like? What's it like?" So like, yeah, it's good. I can't say anymore. And it is good. Peter Frampton's
good. So I went a little crazy. You know, every time a new variant came up on this website, I got some other stuff too. You know, so I did pick up the badge. You know, there it is.
That's nice.
You know, you just saw the box that it came in. The box was like about 20 times larger than that. Obviously, we got the cassette, right? We got the cassette. Did you get the cassette as well?
I did. It came in the mail 2 days ago. Yeah.
Okay.
There's just the one cassette in the UK, right?
Yeah. There's only the one cassette so far. Then I did pick up the hat. As you can see, I've got the hoodie on. I've got the shirts right behind me as well. So,
did you not get the sign?
Yes, but that was put on hold. I guess it's going to be shipping on the 19th, I think, now of this month. And it's really disappointing that they didn't put the dimensions, you know, the size of the sign in the description. So for $50, we have no idea how big this sign is going to be, you know. So
yeah, that's weird. You'd think they would have put that in there,
right? Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting on my daughter in LA. Got a ton of stuff I ordered in the States, the Amoeba, Third Man, that stuff. So I haven't got it yet. So I'm waiting for that big parcel to arrive.
Right.
I like that cover. I don't like it more than the other one, but it's kind of cool, eh?
And but the thing is there's nothing else in it. So it's just the album sleeve. You're not getting the lyrics or anything else that's in the other variants.
What's on the label? What's the label? So it's the same, capital. Okay.
Yeah. But again, you know, no lyrics
That's
booklet
weird.
in there. So, and then I'll show the I'll just show the yellow. I do like this yellow. It's a really nice yellow.
But the record label's different.
Yeah, the record label's different as well. Yes. It's not the handwritten titles of the songs on there. So
nice.
So that's one. Let me get to some more comments here real quick. We got Christopher. Believe it or not, I haven't bought Dungeon Lane yet. I'm waiting to see what extra tracks the deluxe version will have. I don't want to buy the album twice. I love it. Well, we don't know if we're going to get a deluxe version. We don't know what he's going to do with these other 11 songs that he recorded with Andrew Watt. Maybe he's going to go the same way the Stones went, okay, and put out the next album 2 to 3 years from now with those extra songs. And let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people are kind of like, this album is so great, it should be his last album, okay? I don't want it to be his last album. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm hoping it's not. I don't think it is. I think that he's probably really happy with. He's finally got pretty well universal good reviews, which is Rolling Stone gave it a good review. The Guardian gave it a good review. So no, I don't think it's his last album. I can't believe for a second that he's not already writing stuff for, I think you're right, Tom. I think he's going to take 9 or 10 of those 11 tracks and put together the next album with some even newer songs. Like, I don't think it's going to be just those songs. I think he's going to do, And then don't forget, there's the cartoon.
Don't forget, that's exactly what I was just going to say. Don't forget, we still have music from High in the Clouds coming out. So there's still more music coming. Okay, there's still more music coming. Tony says, I got 5 variants so far. Still waiting on the green. Okay. Sam says, love the new Stones cover. Okay. Sam says, I've been to the Third Man in Nashville. Great place. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see here. Do you have any complaints about the sound of the album? Some are complaining about the lack of dynamics. I see it, but it doesn't spoil it for me. I have yet to listen to the album on vinyl yet. It's been all CD for me lately. I may hopefully get a chance to listen to one this weekend on vinyl. And how about you? Have you played any vinyl yet from this album?
I haven't, and what I've noticed is that the vinyl does sound very different from the CD. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it's different. And I personally haven't heard any complaints or talked to anyone, but I'm not complaining. I think it sounds fine on vinyl. I haven't listened to the picture disc yet because I don't see there's a point. But what did I listen to the other day? I listened to the Red Sunrise records here, and it sounded fantastic. I thought it sounded really good. So, but the CD has a different sound to it. I think this is an album that he definitely mixed for vinyl, mixed for CD, and I'm sure he mixed for cassette. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm always afraid to listen to my cassettes because I have this fear of it getting eaten by the deck, right?
Yeah.
Now I've got 20 different copies of McCartney 3 for don't even ask. So if I played that one, it sounds fine. But I haven't played this one on cassette yet.
Gotcha. Dan says I just have the Amazon and Target vinyl.
That's Amazon White. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah. And then so then the show so the Third Man. Okay, so the white label. That's pretty much all it is. White label, nothing on there. Again, no inner sleeve or anything like that. No lyrics.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's what a test pressing looks like.
That's what a test pressing looks like. There you go. And then you got the Third Man label on there, Capitol and MPL. So there you go. Let me say hi to our friend here. We got Gabby. Gabby, hello. It's good to see you here as always. And our good friend Astro Jer is here as well. It was so good to see you guys over there in Cleveland. For that hall exhibit. That was a lot of fun. Let's see here. Let me get one more here from Gabby. Here she says, just showed my dad again all the variants that have arrived so far. He's happy with them. He loves the album. I'm glad to hear that. Definitely glad to hear that. Blackbear says the Boys of Dungeon Lane is number 4 my favorite McCartney album list. Number 1 is Chaos, 2 Flaming Pie, 3 Band on the Run, 5 is Venus and Mars. Very cool. I like that. Like that ranking. Aaron promises that he's going to be doing a ranking here one day soon.
You never know.
Stranger things have happened. But don't hold your breath on that, guys. Don't hold your breath.
I will do a ranking when the London Town box set comes out.
Oh boy, jeez. That might be a while, folks. That might be a while. Jer says Aaron is right. Long Road is a grower, just like Dungeon Lane. I don't think Dungeon Lane was a grower at all. I now like Long Road almost as much as Look Up.
You know what? I prefer Long Road to Look Up, and I'm, I love the album, and Ringo's in fine form. And by the way, I'm the Ringo ambassador here in Toronto for July 7th. So I'm very excited to do that again this year. But I love Look Up and I love Long Road. And I hope this isn't Ringo's last album, because I've heard someone say, well, but you know what? Again, the album made number 2 in the UK and made number 7 or 8 in the States. People are buying them still. And Ringo hit number 1 with the downloads, which surprised me. I don't know who's downloading in the UK, but someone is, which is great.
How did Boys of Dungeon Lane do in Canada?
It didn't chart because
what?
Not yet. I don't know. Right now we're just enamored with Drake, which is fine, I guess, but I don't.
Yeah. Corey Hart's still pretty big in Canada too, huh?
Yeah, Corey Hart and the Guess Who are touring and Rush.
That's right.
I digress for a second. Alex Lifeson made a great joke the other day about Rush with a new drummer, a woman. Mm-hmm. I'm really happy to have a woman drummer, because now finally a woman's come to see Rush.
That's good.
Very good.
Right. Christopher says, I'm actually waiting for Dungeon Lane wax cylinder, but I don't want to appear old-fashioned, though I still have a Jack Russell set by my record player. Okay.
I do too. So I have a wind-up. I showed it to Tom when he was here. You wind up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Richard says, are we Dungeon Laned out yet? I am not, and nor am I.
Nope.
Yes, nor am I.
Good question, but
yeah. Astro Jer says, I like the Amoeba cover. It's cool. I think it is cool. Cool. James says, Boys of Dungeon Lane is not the boys. Not the boys. Yes.
The boys.
The boys. No, it's just, no, he's referring to the title. I said the boys. Yeah. The boys is on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says the boys on the cover.
And the spine.
Yeah, and the spine.
So
I hope we don't have another thing here where it's either the boys or Dungeon Lane or another Speed of Sound type thing here. Is it Wings at the Speed of Sound, or is it At the Speed of Sound?
Oh yeah. Okay. What have you said?
In my opinion, it should be At the Speed of Sound, because you got Wings, and which is the name of the band, and then At the Speed of Sound.
Yeah, that was always my logic, but I was just curious.
Yeah.
I'm there.
All right. Gabby says that the one thing I don't like about the Amoeba design, they printed nothing on anything except the front cover and there's nothing inside either, right? There's no lyric sheet or anything like that. The last album will be released before his last breath, or who knows, or maybe he's got one fantastic album that he told the camp that don't release until after I'm gone, or whatever. Who knows? as we know, he's always got music in his back pocket, like Last Horizon from the album. I mean, that was recorded in the early 2000s.
Now, was that a reference to ballroom dancing?
What, Last Horizon?
No, the back pocket.
Oh yeah, the back pocket. Yeah. My back pocket. Beetle Eddie says, "How you doing, Beetle Eddie? He should never have a last album." Yeah, I agree.
And can I just say, Beetle Eddie, one of the worst things a band or an artist can do is say, "This is my last album or my last tour."
Right.
How many last tours of The Who? How many last tours of Joni Mitchell?
I mean, Paul Simon is the recent one to come back from after having a last tour.
Right. So I think it's sometimes really dangerous for artists. They have to be careful because there's people like me going, just a minute.
Right. Jared says, here, I agree with Tom. Paul can do what the Stones are doing. Watt is the common denominator. Okay.
Paul McCartney on bass.
Yeah, Paul McCartney on bass will be on the next Stones. He did say in an interview that he did both of those songs on the same day.
Yes.
When those initial Watt sessions. So one ended up on Hackney Diamonds, and one's going to be on the new album. So very cool. Christopher says next year McCartney releases High in the Clouds anime. Yes, and there will be a soundtrack. Guarantee you there will be a soundtrack. We know from all the way from the Egypt Station sessions that he recorded a song with Lady Gaga for the High in the Clouds, and he actually, I think he did some work with Madonna as well for it. So we shall see. Let's see. Let's go with another variant here.
Tom?
Yes, go. Yes.
Question for variants. Did you or did you not get the Yoto one?
The Yoto one? No. The pink with the obi?
No, the little kids one. It's a new form of the kids put it into a machine.
Oh, I saw that. Yes. I did see that. But no. Yes. No. Thank you. No. Yeah. What do we got here? We got here. Well, here's your purplish, if you want to call it burgundy or purple or whatever. I do like it a lot.
Where's that from?
Where was it from? Purple was Talk Shop Live.
I haven't got mine yet. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Talk Shop Live. Then we've got, what do we've got here? We've got, this is the exclusive, indie exclusive pink. This is a nice hot pink. I do like pink. This is a very nice one.
Yeah, I'm colorblind. The funny thing is, that was what they were selling in Canada as the exclusive to the launch. The guys were going, we haven't got the silver, but we have the pink one. I'm like, well, I've got the pink one. And he goes, yeah, but if you got it from Canada, it's like, no, it's the same, bud.
That's the same. Yeah, same matrix number, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So. Yep. Gabby says, by the way, I'm still waiting on my order with the green vinyl, the green CD. There has been 0 updates, and Paul's store won't tell me why. I didn't order the sign in that order. Okay. That's weird. That's weird. That's one of the very first things that I got the following week after it was out or did I get it Saturday? I started getting stuff Saturday from paulmccartney.com. Yeah. Let's see here. Blackboard says, Paul said he's not in a rush to make another album. I noticed he haven't announced dates for a new tour yet. Yeah, and it might end up being, later on in the year. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes into December. So then he plays, some December dates, probably mid-December. And yeah, I mean, it would be a real treat to get to one of those shows.
Yes, it would. I would. Yeah.
Do you like Rush? They are on tour, you mean? I did get to see Rush. I did get to see Rush when I lived in Arizona, and it was fantastic.
Okay, so I've seen Rush because when I was a kid, they used to play our local arena around their first album and second album. Played my high school, and I seen them up to Farewell to Kings. And this tour, the tickets here in Toronto, I mean, they kept adding dates and they just kept selling out. So I might see if there's something I can get on the cheap side. But quick story. I actually got to meet two of the guys from Rush, Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. And Geddy Lee is a huge baseball guy. So, of course, we talked baseball for a long time. But Alex is a huge Beatle fan. And we talked Beatles. And he was very cool about talking Beatles stuff. So,
all right.
Just not sure that. Yeah.
Very cool. Buddy says, favorite vinyl variant. Love the splatter. I received the blue today. Yeah, I got the blue as well. I'm still waiting on the splatter, so I don't really want to say what my favorite is until I get that splatter. But I really do like how the colors have been popping. I mean, those colors for McCartney 3 really popped too. I mean, I remember the red, the orange was really nice. The yellow really popped. That kind of like lime green from Target was kind of cool as well. And I'm not the biggest fan of red vinyl, but some of these, McCartney 3 red vinyl was really sharp and really popped. And this one did as well. So let me show one more here. This is the black. We all know what black vinyl looks like. What do we got here? We got the red from Target, as a matter of fact. So there you go. There, that's a good, nice, like little, lipstick red, if you will. Okay, back to more comments. Mazzy, among others, say that the album is brick-walled a bit. They said the same about the Stones' Hackney Diamonds. Okay. Like I said, I haven't listened to any of them on vinyl yet, but I'll get there. The Amazon version has sold out, and I don't know if they're making any more pressings of the white. Well, that took a while, too. And I really think it was smart for them to not announce how many copies they were making of these early on in the release and on the releasing of them. And you can tell, I mean, because right when McCartney 3 was coming out and then people were putting on eBay, they were all going for $100. Okay. When you don't know how many albums are pressing, you can't necessarily do that right off the bat. So I thought that was kind of smart.
I agree.
Yeah. Yes, the Rock Hall exhibit was exceptional. I'm glad we all went together. Absolutely.
To be there. I'm sorry. My health. I apologize.
I know. Well, you're still with us. That's a good thing.
All right. I could be an A1 substitute or A1 substitute.
Many are saying the silver vinyl Dungeon Lane will be the one, just like the Third Man pressing was for McCartney 3. Well, that Jacaranda 1, 2 was pretty limited as well. You know what? And I was like, nah, I'm not going to get the Jacaranda. Okay. And I didn't. And now I am in a way kind of regretting it because you know why? They numbered them, right? It's a series. Okay. Ringo was 004.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what number Paul's was?
007.
007, which makes sense.
I had that because they're only available in England. I got them sent to my brother.
Right.
In London.
Yeah, so and you offered that for me too, and I appreciate that. But
listen, I said to you, I could get you one, but okay.
I know. Well,
I got it on black and color.
Because you got both of them? Well, of course you got both. I ranked the tracks on the album on video. Yeah.
You did. Excellent.
Yeah, and we will be, Andy and I will be back with the next installment of ranking the tracks. It's been 6 years since we've been able to do one, and we'll be back. And I have ranked the tracks, actually. So, and I'm going to see right before we do our episode of ranking the tracks, I'll see if I should change it at all. But Jer says Dungeon Lane is in my top 10 post Beatles, Paul, but it's going up. Listen, Ultimate Classic Rock on Facebook, they have ranked every single solo Beatles album. And Yeah, and they added look or Long Long Road, and they added Boys at Dungeon Lane. I don't necessarily agree where they put Boys at Dungeon Lane. You'll have to look it up yourselves. Go on Facebook and look up Ultimate Classic Rock, and you can see where they put Boys at Dungeon Lane. I don't know if I agree with it. I think it should be a little higher. Gabby says, especially with how We Two was recorded with the 4-track, like the old days, I definitely feel the album was made for vinyl. There you go.
I agree, Gabby. I agree 100%. 100%.
Let me ask you this there, my friend. Do you have a favorite song on the album?
It changes. I'll be really honest with you. When initially I would have said A or B or whatever, but every time I listen to it, as I said, I keep hearing something different. So,
Right.
I really love, I get the exact title because I don't want to make a fool of myself. I love
Right.
Salesman Saint. Like, I think that song just, moves me completely.
Right.
Mountaintop, at one point I thought, well, Mountaintop's maybe my least favorite. Now it's quickly becoming one of my favorites. So,
Right.
because I love the Live and Let Die bit at the end, So,
Right.
He didn't copy Live and Let Die, but it brings some more.
Thanks to John Fogerty, artists can copy themselves if they want to.
Well, listen, I'm a big John Fogerty fan too, man. Now, do you have a favorite song? Or you can't sing that because you're doing a band.
I do. Well, I mean, if you listen to our review of it, I said what I thought was the best song on the album, and we can talk about that when we talk about our 5 favorite aspects of this album here. And I'm going to get to that. We're going to get to that in a couple minutes here. I'm going to try to get caught up on these comments, and then we're going to Aaron and I will start talking about our 5 favorite aspects of the album. Tony says the songs Days We Left Behind, Long Long Road are both grand statements in their lives. Okay, I like that. Congrats, Aaron, on being Ringo ambassador for his B-Day.
Thank you.
Great job, my friend. Great job. Well deserved.
Thank you very much.
James says half of Dungeon Lane grew on me. Down South is still a weak leak. Yes and no. It's weird. I think it's such a simple track that maybe you can kind of like take that song for granted or whatever. I do think it's a fine companion for friends to go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say and I really liked it. I think it's a clever song, and I like. Yeah, okay. And I guess I respect anyone's opinion. Like, that's your favorite track. Fair enough. But I agree. It reminded me of Friends to Go, which I really love. Still.
How did you feel about him using the title "Twist and Shout" in the song?
I laughed. It made me smile because he consciously picked a song they didn't write that was a big hit for them, and I tip my hat to Paul for that. Because it's something that Twist and Shout is immediately identified with the Beatles, but it's one of their bigger songs that they never wrote. Here in Canada, it was a huge hit, as was Roll Over Beethoven.
Yeah, I think it was their most successful single that they didn't wrote. I think it was a number 2 hit here in the States.
Yeah, so I think McCartney's remarkably smart, and he could have said, "Before you please me," or "Before we from me to you," but he didn't. He went Twist and Shout.
Yeah.
So, what about you? How did you feel about it?
I just don't. I associate that kind of thing with Ringo more than. I mean, I was fine with it, but maybe it's a little lazy in my opinion. But it worked for the song, though. It worked for the song.
But long before Ringo did it, and long before Paul did, Paul made mention of a song that he really liked by a group called Barclay James Harvest, and the song is called Titles, where they stitched together a bunch of Beatle titles. Well worth switching out. It's a great track, and I thought to myself, he's tipping his hat to a few people here, and I love that. And I'll tell you about more I love about the album later.
Okay. James says here, Dungeon Lane is in his ears and in his eyes.
Very good, James. Very good.
Yep. Well, he's the man. I think Jared says, I think the personal and reflective nature of Dungeon Lane was why it took a few listens for me to say, holy shit. Yeah. And I was kind of worried about that when I learned, or when we all learned that it was going to be a more of a nostalgic, reflective kind of album. I was kind of worried about that because
you said that to me, and I kept saying to you, "Don't worry." That's remember you said to you, it's not because it's not maudlin. It's not maudlin at all.
Right. I mean, I was like, okay, is this going to be like an album I'm going to have to be in a certain mood to listen to, like Plastic Ono Band? You know what I mean? But very glad that it wasn't that. So. James says on the Amoeba, I believe the vinyl just says "Boys of." Okay, now I see what you're saying. No, it does say "The Boys."
I don't have mine, James. So you can.
Yeah, it does say "The Boys." But there you go. There you go, my friend. There you go. A few more comments, and then we're going to get started with our 5 favorite things of the album here. Let's see here. 4D Man says DS was retrospective. Down South was retrospective. Will reach older people more. Wonder whether they're making marketing states percents of younger generation buying it. Yeah, I'm sure they have that information. I'm sure that they have it broken down to what market is what generation or what the age difference of fans are buying the album, who's streaming it, who's actually buying it. So, and it wasn't a lot of people, I can tell you that. I mean, listen, 35,000 people in the UK buying Paul record? I mean, that's, back in the 80s, that's kind of a flop.
But you know what? 35,000 in 2026 is huge. Like
it's huge. Yes.
Other than Taylor Swift, but
right.
I want to just say something about, and the train went right on my head, so I'll come back to it.
Right. Okay. Tony says Bo released something posthumously. Well, he had it ready. I think he had specifically had that ready because he knew. I think he knew he was dying. Didn't Bowie?
Well,
and
Blackstrike came out the weekend he passed away. He came out before he died.
Right. Yeah.
And then,
did it come out? But there was the EP. The EP came out after it, I think. Too.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Great.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Our buddy here says Paul calls it "At the Speed of Sound" in the Rock Show film.
Okay. He does.
I don't remember that.
You're right. I do. You're right.
Okay. Man, the comments are coming in great, guys. Thank you for all these wonderful comments. I take it with a grain of salt, but I know what you're talking about here, my friend. But at Steve Holly was in a picture with some friends, and the friend wrote about Back to the Egg coming out next year. I don't know. Listen, all we have is what the facts that we have now, right? That it's been 6 years or so, 5 years since the last archive release. And there's no word whether or not that it's going to continue.
Okay, but how many years between Anthology 3 and 4?
Fair, but we weren't expecting that, though.
I was.
Fair enough.
I'm still, hey, on the subject of waiting for things, hello, George Harrison Volume 2, the acoustic session. Anytime.
Oh yeah, I know. The early sessions or whatever was it called?
Early
takes. Early takes volume. That was the worst thing they could have done, was call it Volume 1.
I agree. Stupid.
It was very stupid because 15 years later, people are still going, "Where's Volume 2?"
And when it does come out, people are going to go, "What's this Volume 2 for?" I didn't even know.
Beckmer says, "Hey, Paul might have a vault full of unreleased." Yes, exactly.
We know he does.
Yes, we know he does.
We know he does.
Yeah. Ringo should work on children's entertainment again, says Tony.
I am proud.
Okay.
I'm the proud owner of every Thomas the Tank Engine original cassette released in the UK in the 80s.
Wow.
The American ones with the cassettes that came with books and a nice hardcover, and they're beautiful, and I'm very proud to own those. I got to digitize them one day because I'm really worried they're going to disintegrate.
Josh says, I'm sure I'll get some blowback for this, but I'd rather get Archive London Town Back to the Egg rather than another new album. Well, yeah and no. What's more important, new music or archive stuff? I don't know.
I know what you're saying, and I don't think you should get blowback. It's your opinion, and that's fair.
Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of understand where you're going with that, because sometimes, there's some new, but I got to tell you, may I digress for a minute?
Yeah.
2026 has been a great year for legacy artists coming back. Morrissey, yes.
Yeah.
McCartney, Ringo. There's been just, there's been so many great albums by artists that we kind of, John Fogerty. I mean, a lot of people.
Oh, you mean this year, right?
Yeah.
You mean this? Okay, yeah. I think the Elton record was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was last year.
Okay. But even still, last year. But there's been a lot of great albums by older artists. Now, I interviewed the lead singer of Yes, and he said, John Davison, he goes, well, I don't think anyone's even listening to our new album. Of course, I'm going, I did. And let me tell you what
Hey, and Andrew Watt also worked with Morrissey on his unreleased album. So I would love to hear that stuff as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Mazzy's here. How you doing, Mazzy? No wonder Paul's album hit #1. Yeah, well, listen, I think Beatley Tone did a fantastic video on that, talking about all the different aspects of why the album may have gone #1. I mean, all the promotion he was doing. Yes, the variants do have some of that, but you know what? There was nowhere near as many variants coming out in the UK as there was here in the States. So.
Even if you were here, we had two.
Yeah, exactly. And reviews as well. I mean, everybody's been giving this a favorable review, so that's got to count for something as well.
The guy from Spill Magazine called it a masterpiece. So,
okay, there you go. Beatle says McCartney tour in fall. I don't think so. I think he's going to be sticking to overseas this year. And let's see here, Josh. I'm sure I'll get some blow. Wait, did we read that one already? Yeah, I think we read that one already. When do Tom and Andy rank the tracks on this album? I'm sure by the end of this month or in July. So just be patient, young man. Gabby says, yeah, I sent another email today regarding my green vinyl order. Hopefully it'll be actually reviewed instead of being sent an automated email. I hear you there. I hear you. Eddie says, I saw Rush in '81 Moving Pictures tour. Fantastic. Mike says, Rush makes me think of The Fireman. Okay.
I see that. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Interesting. James says he's seeing Rush in London next March. He's going to be in the 12th row. Very cool.
Wow.
I got my splatter last week, $10.99. Very cool. Yeah, let me know in the comments that because I got the email saying it shipped. I got notifications up to when it left the UK, and then after that, I don't know what's going on with it. So there you go. So I'm glad everybody is getting it. I just don't know. Let's see. Splatter and Yellow Amoeba look great. So is it numbered, Tom? What is numbered? Did I miss something here? What did we talk about? That was numbered. Well, I mean, that Jacaranda is not necessarily numbered, but what's numbered is the album, because it's a series. It's almost kind of like the Criterion Collection, where each film is numbered. So I think if you're talking about the Jacaranda, It's numbered that way in the series. So the first album that Jack and Randall did in this series was 001, and then so on, so on, so on. And Paul's was 007. If that's what you're referring to, Tony. Only the Blue Splatter is numbered. Only 4,000 Maze. I'm proud of. Yeah, that you got one. Yeah. Even if I went broke. Well, I think we all kind of lost a lot of money with this release, as we did with McCartney 3.
Yeah, I got my credit card bill in the mail today. It was not as pleasurable as getting a Blue Splatter. But anyways, just as I say.
All right, let's start with 5 things that we love about this album, and it could be an orchestration bit, it could be a lyric, it could be an instrument, it could be the way he sings something, And I'll start because just so people kind of get an understanding of what I'm talking about here. One of the things that I love about this album is when Mike Davis comes in at the beginning of Salesman Saint with that wonderful trumpet that he plays then and kind of throughout the song. I'm a huge fan of when acts can incorporate like a trumpet like that. I mean, Morrissey has done that in the past with like the Bullfighter Must Die. It's just really, I think it just adds, another wonderful layer to such a complex song to begin with, because I do kind of feel like Salesman Saint is the deep feeling of this album. I don't think people respond to this one right away. I think this one might take a few listens for people to get into, if that makes any sense, Aaron. So that's my number 5. One of my, and again, this is in no order, but this is just things that I love about this album.
Okay, people are going to think I'm copying, and if you want to see, I've written down here. So I wrote this down before Tom said anything. I like the big band sound in Salesman Saint because
right.
He creates not just the trumpet though. I like when it starts going into full big band, and we all know McCartney loves that.
Right.
Music. We all know he loves Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby, and as do I. And the first time I listened to it, a long time ago, I got the stream, and I didn't have any information. I just had a stream of it. That song just killed me lyrically. But then when the big band came in, brilliant.
During that verse where he's going and only entertainment, piano and radio, hot tea and cigarettes, and then it goes, and in a way, when you're listening to it, it really doesn't fit, musically, well, but oddly enough, it kind of does fit. it shouldn't work,
shouldn't
work. Yes.
So in the same way that I've always loved how McCartney plays with words, like in fixing a hole, it doesn't really matter if I'm wrong. I'm right where I belong. I'm right where I belong should be together. But anyways, he does it. He separates it differently. He does this with this song, and I thought, this is what I love about Paul McCartney. When you think you've got it figured out, you don't.
No, you don't.
And that song kills me. And the film he did with Paul Mescal, when he looks back into the diner, that just killed me at the end. Like I just thought, tears. Sorry. Yeah. I'm mad enough to say I cry. I cried during the song. There's a lot of shots for this album that brought tears to my eyes.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to that too. Okay, so a couple more questions here. I had the same issue with McCartney's store. My pre-order has no updates. My order includes regular CD, green, regular vinyl, green CD, and Third Man. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. And a lot of that stuff is sold out now too. I know the keychain's sold out. I know the mug is sold out. I know the pin is sold out. Obviously, the Third Man, I think, is sold out as well. Dan, go ahead. What?
But we bought the Third Man here in Canada and England, and then we got the email saying, "Here's your money back," and there was no warning. So,
really?
So mine was canceled because they weren't shipping outside the U.S. So
outside the U.S., yeah.
And I've got to tell you, I don't understand this. I know postage is a lot. I don't care what I have to pay, Paul. I will pay the postage, but like I couldn't even get the new Paul McCartney, the download with the commentary. I had to get someone else.
That was just blow my mind. How is a digital release U.S. only? I don't get it.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. We got to get Dan here real quick. Just noticed that Paul has done an episode of the Song Exploder podcast discussing ripples in a pond. Yeah, I'm going to listen to that. Yeah. Blackbear says, okay, well, that's still more back to the egg stuff. Tony says here, top 3 tracks for me: Days We Left Behind, As You Lie There, Life Can Be Hard. I've got something that I'm going to talk about with Life Can Be Hard coming up. Eddie says, everyone says Down South is number 14. It's a song about George. Shut up. Okay, well, there you go. That doesn't mean that still doesn't mean it can't be criticized, though. Okay.
No, Eddie's right.
Yeah.
Beetle Eddie's right.
Hey Matthew, how you doing, my friend? Just arrived, so apologies. No need to apologize, my friend. If this has been asked already, have either of you heard the 5.1 Atmos mix? I think it's outstanding. I have not. What say you there, Aaron?
Where are they available? Just on the Apple Store?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Please let us know. Matt.
Okay. Bugaboo number 55 for Aaron today. Every band and their brother are releasing these Blu-ray discs with the 5.1 Atmos. Why can I not buy this album? And I buy it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll buy it. I will buy it. Yes, I will buy it. Tony says Friends to Go is a smashing song. I don't see how it's connected to George. Well, what he says is Paul says that the song is kind of like structured as a George song, if I remember correctly. He recorded the song and he felt like this is a song that George could have done. So that's the connection.
He also inferred that there was kind of that whole thing about waiting for your friends to go so I can come out and talk to you.
Yeah.
So
right. Yeah. Astro Jer says, Friends to Go is still an amazing track. Easily my favorite on Chaos and wow, okay. Yeah, got nothing bad to say about that. Jer says, of all the variants, I'm surprised that MPL Universal did not do a box like the upcoming Stones album with the CD Blue Atmos mix. Okay, there you go. Yeah, what do you think about that, Aaron?
And the Stones are releasing variant covers for World Cup, right?
Okay. Well, it makes sense because they did that with Hackney Diamonds with all the baseball stadiums that they played. Okay. Yeah. So I don't see anybody bitching about that. Okay. He also sings before we learned to work it out like the song. Tony says half of the nostalgic, half is a Wings style rockers. I don't know if I would call him Wings style. If anything, it's just more or less just because of the backing vocals that he does himself on the album, which I'm going to be okay. So that's next thing I'm going to talk about here. The second thing that I really love on this record is Paul's backing vocals, specifically on the song Ripples in a Pond. Okay. I love when he's saying, sometimes I'm feeling you're so good for me. I must be blessed. And I love that how he repeats with, I must be blessed. And then he repeats, I know it's for the best. He says, for the best. I like how he does that on this particular song. I mean, there's other great, backing vocals on this album as well, especially throughout First Star of the Night. I think are some great ones, but I really like how he kind of like just mimics himself on Ripples on a Pond. I think Ripples in the Pond is one of the 5 best songs on this album for me personally. So and then then it goes then he there's more off my chest. I kind of like that aspect. It's kind of something that I think's been lacking in past McCartney albums. Is a lot of these backing vocals or added vocals to them. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, about backing vocals?
Yeah.
I love the backing vocals. I love the fact that Nancy's on it. That warmed my heart to see her name in the credits. Chrissy Hind. Love you, Chrissy. I love the backing vocals on the album. I think, and Ringo did the same thing on Long Long Road, the song Long Long Road.
Right.
Now, one of the things I loved about the album, number 4, I guess,
Right.
The song "Home to Us," because I tell you what I loved about that song is that it's defiant as opposed to melancholy. So it's kind of like, you can say it's kind of rough, but it was home to us. So growing up in an industrial city that I did, we were, in a very small city. It was all GM workers, and it was rough, and it was not the most pleasant place to grow up. I go, oh yeah, I know exactly what, but you're not ashamed of it. You're kind of like, you can put down all you want, but it was our hometown. And I love the defiance in it. It's not angry.
Right.
It's just, hey, you know what? That was us. And it reminded me of That Was Me in the Cavern, that song. I love it. So I like the fact that McCartney can be nostalgic without being maudlin and sometimes being downright defiant. And I love that about him.
Cool. Very good. Okay, so I understand now what James and Gabby are talking about. When you pull out the yellow vinyl, okay, on the label, it just says "Boys of Dungeon Lane." It doesn't say "The Boys." Okay.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much, you two, for making me understand. I get it now. Sorry about that. Okay. Back to some comments here, which are all fantastic. Thank you guys again. We're an hour in. Yeah, we're an hour in, and a lot of these questions and comments have been top notch. James says, I'm puzzled some fans aren't keep on the album because of the positive reaction to it. I wonder if some are just going against the tide on purpose. It's possible. It's possible. I know that some people might not want to believe that McCartney can put out such a fantastic record, but he has been putting out fantastic records for a long time. So I don't know what the issue is. Let's see here. You guys see the 3-2-1 doc multiple times. Andy says he discusses life can be hard. Yes,
he does. Yeah.
He does. Yes.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And there's also that picture of on Valentine's Day in 2023 where Paul released the two roses on the council, and then there on the right hand side you can see the words ripples on a pond instead of ripples in a pond. Yeah, so there you go.
Well, listen, if you watch the Beatle documentary of them at their first tour in '64, you can hear John playing Strawberry Fields. The opening, dude. So these things stick around. Ringo's What Goes On and Don't Pass Me By were around for years.
Yeah. Gavin says, I just got a reply from the Paul store saying the green CD is holding up my order. I ordered it the day it was announced. Wow.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows, in what order, they ship things into. Do they go by names in alphabetical order? Do they go by, who ordered what first? I mean, it's really odd. In my way. Anyways, Tony says, Aaron, 8-year-old me got the giant book of every Thomas story.
Love it. That's great, Tony. Awesome.
Yeah. Gabby says, I had a feeling them taking this long meant they were not going to send one of the items that is now sold out. Yeah. Sam, how you doing, Sam? Sam says, I'm hoping Giles just remasters the rest of the Beatles catalog, even if they aren't super deluxe. Yeah, and that's the thing, okay? Even let's say there's not much else in the vaults, special wise that they put on a box set. That doesn't mean that they still can't go back and remix the rest of those albums. I mean, do they have to have special, do they have to have extra tracks?
But they could also, if they were smart, they could just do 65,
right,
and do Help and Rubber Soul in a box set, right? And you can get the remaster and bonus tracks,
right? Yeah,
you don't have to do a box set for Help and a box set for. I mean, you could do you could do like a box set for Back to the Egg with London Town,
right. Here we go. Back to that. There's also rumors of a River Soul box set later this year.
I hope so. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Tony says, Aaron, have you ever met Bruce Sugar?
Just I chatted with him on the phone and on Facebook, like talking to the Facebook Live thingy. Yeah, he's a great guy. Nice guy. Very humble.
Okay. Richard James says, Mazzy said he hates the song Mama Gets By. Well, we're going to talk about that here a little later. Sam says, other great legacy acts from 2026, Mike Campbell, Stones, and we're about to get a new live Paul Simon album announcement at the end of the month.
You're saying there's been a lot of great albums by, legacy. I hate the term legacy. And even Jethro Tull put out a great version of one of their albums where they actually took off the original synthetic drums and put a real drummer on. And it's fantastic, right? So this has been a great year for music for me. I'm just saying.
We'll get to Josh here. This is thanks for the response. Love the new album, but for years have been hoping for London Town and Back to the Egg to get their due. I love those records so much. We do too. We love them too. But again, it's just like, at least say, hey, look, we know you've been waiting. We know it's been 6 years since our last release. Give us a little more time. You won't be disappointed. At least give us something rather than something in the back of the tour program saying, keep an eye on McCartney.com. You know what I mean? So, listen, I want them just as much. But, 6 years says something, though, in between. I
don't think it says anything. I think it says...
I do.
I know you do. I know. But, I'm still holding out for certain things, like a Ringo Starr box, a Ringo album. That would be nice, or anything by Ringo in a box.
Okay. Tom, I'm stealing this idea for a video. You have fun, Tony. Go ahead. The musical break at the final third of Come Inside track.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. Okay, so I'm gonna go with number 3 on things that I really love on this album. It's from a track called Life Can Be Hard. I think I love when Paul does falsetto. I think this falsetto voice is very strong. I think it's stronger than maybe say Kiss of Venus. That's just my opinion, but I love when he sings, the way he sings in a super high falsetto voice. She loves me even when life passes. No, wait a minute. Is it that one? No, I'm sorry. It's maybe the starlight that shines in her eyes, sings to the moon in her hair. Each time we meet, there's a look of surprise. She sprinkles love everywhere. I love the way he sings that. I love that line as well, that lyric as well. But the falsetto in that just really brings me joy, and I just get giddy every time I hear him sing that. So that's a third thing that I really like from this album.
I like that, Tom. I like you got giddy. For me, I love the track, and McCartney doesn't do this often. He does it a bit on Linda's album, White Prairie, but
right.
I love talking at the beginning of
yes.
I think that is absolutely, and the first time I heard it again, I thought, where's he going with this? And then all of a sudden you go from this reciting,
right,
reminiscing, kind of, like really cool. And then all of a sudden he just goes into this rocker that is like second to none.
Right.
And I thought, to me, I love this for 2 reasons. One, McCartney is big on sequencing albums, and this sets the album up perfectly. Like it just gets you. You remember me, and not just to this person, but to everybody. As you lie there, do you think of me? Because you're gonna. In about 25 minutes, I just love that, and I like the repetition of I used to walk.
Walk, yes.
Yeah, walk. And so that's kind of, that floored me. And I think this is what makes the album a masterpiece, is that he does everything that you just don't expect. Like you just kind of go, I I would never imagine Paul doing that.
Well, and he hasn't done a lot. I mean, you think of okay, Rocky Raccoon. He talks a little bit prior to the beginning of the song, but it's something like that Neil Diamond style where it's almost kind of like talking and then going into
Van Morrison. Van Morrison does it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So,
but on Wide Prairie, the song was a Wide Prairie where.
It goes, do you have a cigarette?
Yeah, you got a light?
A light. That's the light. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Great stuff. Tony says I cried listening to the Cranberries debut album. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. What is sold out for Dungeon Lane merch? Well, the keychain, the badge, the hat, and the cat, and the coffee cup. Maybe not the cap, but I mean, I guess I can go here and find out for you guys here real quick. Where are we? Come on, here we go. There's the website. Then we go to the store. Okay, so now the Third Man is back on there as a limited edition. Okay, and what is sold out now? You have the green vinyl. It says low stock. Okay, then as you get down, it says that the coffee mug is sold out. The green CD exclusive is sold out. The gatefold is sold out. The tote bag is sold out. The pin or the badge, wherever you live in the world, is sold out. And then the keychain is also sold out. So there you go there. Okay. Richard says, I love Down South. The only songs that haven't grown on me are Lost Horizon and Days We Left Behind. Wow. So right off the bat, you were probably like, oh, I don't know how this album's going to be if you didn't really care for Days We Left Behind. Interesting. James says here, after the success of Wings Comp as a Blu-ray, I was surprised the album hadn't had one as well. Yes.
Maybe it's coming. Yeah. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can buy Tina Turner Private Dancer on it, but right. I mean,
yeah. Okay. Ali says Dungeon Lane is delightful. I agree. Okay. Matthew here says that the 5.1 Atmos mix is available on Apple Music. It sounds terrific through my 5.1 system, even a modest one. Salesman Satan in particular sounds terrific in 5.1. That is very cool.
Good to know. Now, Matthew, can you give someone a call and say, can you put that on Blu-ray? So,
Yes. For the people that want the actual physical media aspect of it, right?
I don't know if you follow that company that puts those out, but they put out the weirdest titles. You're like, really? I mean, that Captain Fantastic, by the way, and for those of you who have a Blu-ray and can get, sounds amazing in 5.1. Amazing. They really did a good job. And Brian Ferry stuff too. But I don't understand. Do we really need Fun Young Cannibals in 5.1? I guess you do.
4D Man says Days We Left Behind, the loyalty to his past and the lyrics. These lyrics aren't footprints in the sand. They're set in stone to last through the ages. I like that. I like that a lot. What was the secret code you think there, Mr. Badgley?
I was going to ask you that very question. That's very poetic. That's really nice. It's very true too. I think the secret code, don't you get the sense that the secret code is that's the secret? And that's going to stay a secret. No, I mean that. No. Like it's like there's some things in the Beatles that are going to remain with the Beatles. They don't need to be out.
Right.
And again, it could be something here come up. I don't know. But I maybe it's going to be in the new 4 films. But
yes. They're all teenagers walking down Portland Road and going, yes, wait till there's 4 movies about each of us individually.
at the end of the fourth one,
Yeah.
the secret is.
It is. Tony says Ripples is number 4 for him. Cool. And also, since Linda died, Paul hasn't used women backing singers until now. I don't know about that. I have to go back and double check. Let's check Kisses on the bottom. Let's check a few other things.
I'll check.
Yeah. Jer says, Home to Us consistently puts a smile on my face. And yes, Tom, the backing vocals on the album by Paul and others is so well placed. Yeah, and the backing vocals too, with Patty, and I'm forgetting the other woman's name. Is it Patty or wait? Why am I forgetting the Pretenders lead singer's name?
Chrissy Hynde.
Chrissy Hynde. Thank you. Yeah, Chrissy Hynde is who I was thinking. They're fantastic. Laura, how you doing? Hi, guys. I'm way late. Nancy does backing vocals on the album. No, what she has is.
No, she does.
Oh, really? I missed that thing but at the end of Mountaintop, you hear a female speaking, and that is Nancy speaking there. And did I miss then that information on Nancy doing backing vocals on a track?
Just one track, and give me a minute. I'm just looking at New right now to see. I don't think there's no one on New. There was Rusty Bryant. Anyone know about Abe? Is he okay?
Yeah, not sure, but we haven't heard anything yet. George says, great conversation going on. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Tony says, what's said at the end of Mountaintop? Well, you really can't. It's kind of like faded in a way where you can't really understand what she is saying. George,
he does that a lot, where he puts in voices.
Yeah. Right,
and you're kind of going, what are they saying? And I like that about him too.
Right. Okay. George says,
wait, I tell a lie. Carolyn Lejeune does backing vocals on Egypt Station.
All right, there you go. George says, I don't consider myself a huge McCartney fan as you two are, but I do enjoy the album as was hooked with the first spin and was hooked with this first. Very cool. I like that. Jer says the Pure McCartney box set turns 10 this summer. Any song on Dungeon Lake would fit. Yes, I agree. And it's amazing that you brought this up because that was Two Legs' very first episode was on Pure McCartney box set back in August of 2016. This August, we will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of Two Legs. We'll probably be doing, not probably, we will be doing a 10-hour live stream to celebrate the occasion. I'm sure you're going to be seeing a lot of friends and a lot of interviewees throughout the years. I've contacted our friend Adrian Sinclair earlier today, and he said he'd be more than happy to come on for a while and chat with us. I'm sure you'll probably see Aaron as well as other friends that we've made throughout the years, and I really look forward to doing this. So thanks. You just bringing up a memory, Jer, as that was our first episode was discussing Pure McCartney. Pure McCartney. Well, go ahead, Aaron. What's that?
It's going to be cool. I look forward to that.
Yeah. Tony says the Pure McCartney got me to love Arrow Through Me and Don't Let It Bring You Down. I'm still not the biggest fan of Don't Let It Bring You Down, but Arrow Through Me is fantastic.
See, it's because of you, Tom, that we don't have the London Town box set. If you would just
thank you, guys.
If you would just say, you know what, I was wrong. It's a brilliant song. We need a remix of it or a different take, Paul. And he'll go, oh, Tom, great, sure.
Sure. Thanks for putting that on me there, guy. I appreciate that. Dan says, what? How could you hate Mama Gets By? It's beautiful. It brought me close to tears. Yeah, same here. Same here. Now, I guess, let's talk about this now. Mama Gets By. Okay. Some people, I'm not included in this, want to believe that this is about Paul and Linda. Okay. I don't get that. I mean, this, Paul talks about in interviews that this was told in the child's point of view. It says Mama gets by while Papa gets high. Let's not forget that Linda liked to get high as well. Okay. Like I said, I mean, it's told in child's point of view. I think this is already and people want to believe that this is when Paul, right after John announces he wants a divorce in September of '69. They go up to Scotland. He's all depressed. This story in Mama Gets By sounds like to me like it's a couple that's already been together for about 10 years or so. So I just don't see how people can think that this is really, and I get why people want to think that. Okay. But Aaron, what say you on that?
Well, I've heard the same argument, and I'll admit that for the first time I heard it, I thought maybe that's what he's referring to, but I think it goes deeper than that, and I think it's McCartney is clever, right? He's deceptive because you think it's here, but really it's under here that's really going on. I do think there was a wee bit of the whole Scotland thing where he was a bit out of control, and Linda had to kind of say, "Knock it off." But I think there's more to this song than that, and the fact that it's the last track on the album, there's a reason why it's the last track after you get the first track, which is As You Lie There. So not that the album's a concept album, but he is very smart in bookending things, and you think, okay, there's a reason those two songs are where they are. I don't know what he's singing about, to be perfectly honest, but again, I've said this, I sound like a broken record, preferably not any of my Paul McCartney albums, is that the more I listen to this album, the more I discover. And I don't know if it's a grower, but it's the kind of album where you kind of go, there we go, that's there. And I never picked that up before. And I love that. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't do the same thing with McCartney 3 and Egypt Station and all that, not to this degree. I think the McCartneys put a lot into this album. There's a lot of stuff buried, and that's why I'd love to hear a 5.1. I'd love to hear. Well,
not only that, but I think this album benefits from listening to it on headphones as well. I mean,
100%.
Yeah, I think that's where you really get those layers. I mean, I think you do miss them when you're listening to them on like a car CD stereo, or just at home on your own CD player. Listen to them with headphones on, and I think you'll really get a lot out of it. Okay, number 4 with me. I agree with you with your number 3, the spoken word. In As You Lie There. Throughout, when he goes, in every book that you read, every movie that you've seen, and then the opening line, I used to walk by, past your window, and I really think that's cool. I like his voice. His voice is really strong on that, so I dig it. I used to walk past your house every night. I look up at your window. The light was on. I saw the silhouette on the blind. Do you think of me? Do I ever cross your mind? It's a really cool thing. I mean, again, he doesn't do that a lot. I just, this song is so great. I never want to do spoken word again on any other song than this. This is it. This is the only time now I ever want him to do, anything involving spoken word in a song, because he nailed it here. So yeah, I love it. And then, again, in the middle part where he goes back to the spoken word as well, I think it's all fantastic.
Yeah, I totally agree. I guess for me, the other part, so one of the 5 things I love about this album, and I'm going to try to explain this. If it comes out jumbled, I apologize. When you're talking to someone that you've known for a long time, and you talk about, what's going on, man? You talk what's going on, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, you go back into the past and you start talking about something you remembered, You might talk about your mom, you might talk about your brother or someone, and then you go back to the present, and then this is what this album is to me. It's not a linear album where you kind of go, this is where I'm born, this is Liverpool. He's having a conversation with the listener. And sometimes he's talking to Nancy, talking about Nancy and his current relationship and what's going on. Sometimes he's talking about his mom and dad. Sometimes he's talking about the Beatles. Sometimes, and I love that because it's more natural. And you're talking to Mr. Chronological here, which drives everyone nuts. No, we must start in 1961 and move on. But I love that about this album because Bob Dylan wrote a song called "Series of Dreams," and when you listen to the song, it really is how you dream. You listen to it, you go, oh yeah, here and this. This is the same thing with the Boys of Dungeon Lane, where you kind of go, this is a conversation between me, the listener, and the artist as a performer. But it's stripping away that and kind of going, let's just talk. I'm going to talk about my mom. And he's done that and I know these songs some of them are older than others. I get that. Doesn't matter. He sequenced this beautifully. This is incredible sequencing, and not just for music, like not just because this rocker goes into that. No, it's a conversation, and to me, this is one of his most intimate albums with the listener. That's what I love about it.
Great.
Does that make any sense at all?
No, absolutely. No, that made 100% sense to me. I'm kind of jealous I didn't pick that myself.
No, that's how it. I mean, that's how we talk. You and I will talk sometimes off the air or whatever, and you talk about what's going on, and all of a sudden it triggers something. Back when I was 16, let me tell you this story. Yeah. Like I did it today, where I saw Rush when I was in high school. I mean, and that's how conversations happen, and that's how this album is.
Right. Cool. Before we get back to the comments here, I want to take a minute and I want to thank everybody that has watched our review of the Boys of Dungeon Lane. We just passed the 2K mark on that, so I really appreciate everybody taking the time. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and hit that like, and watch us here on YouTube. We're all over the web. We're on pretty much every single audio platform as well. But if you like seeing our mugs, please subscribe to Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. So there's that. Back to comments real quick here. Gabby, our buddy Charles H got the green CD with his order last week. Okay. Hello, everyone. Listen to the album. It isn't bad. No, well, it isn't. It is fantastic. Groovy one. I hope you're doing okay. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Tony says the lyrics you just read of lyrics about Linda and long haired lady. Okay. Gabby says here. Okay, so that's a back and forth conversation between Jer and Gabby. Wow, there's a lot of comments, guys, coming in. Thank you, guys.
I love the comments. I love it.
The lyrics to life can be hard. Remind me of lyrics to Linda and long hair. Yeah, he talks about that too, saying during COVID, I think it was Nancy's niece and husband, they just had a new baby, and that song was kind of like dedicated to them. Let's see here. Just wow, almost all the Dungeon Lane merch is sold out. Yeah, wow, big sellers, or they were all limited edition. Well, we don't know. We don't know. But it took a while to sell out, right? I mean, it was what, a good 3 months since everything has been announced. What was it, been 2 months or so? See here, Lost Horizon, in my opinion, is either about remembering his childhood or Linda. Okay. You got to live for now. I guess, it took them almost 2 weeks to finally tell me that the green CD is holding it up. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Gabby. Sorry.
Yeah, that sucks. Because that was one of the first things I got, was the green CD. Yeah. Don't worry. It's coming. James
Thank
says,
you.
I went to a Dolby Atmos playback at Roxy Music's Avalon about 3 weeks ago. It was lovely. I do have the Blu-ray of it, and Boys and Girls Fairies sort of sequel to it.
James, I have those too, and I'd love to have gone to the playback, but I love what they did with Avalon, quite frankly, and Boys and Girls. So I'm with you.
Matthew says, Aaron, I have already pushed the Blu-ray thought to Paul Sinclair at Super Deluxe Edition via the comments. Hopefully he reads them, but I'm sure he must have explored this already. Very good.
Yeah.
Very
Ace,
good.
I'll do the same thing.
Yes. Yes. The secret is there are 7 levels, as Paul said when he was high. Well,
That's
that was with Mel Evans, wasn't it?
No, it's Paul. Paul said, write it down.
Yeah.
And write it down. Yeah.
Yeah. That was with Mel Evans, is what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't think it was with Bob Dylan. I think they were at a party with Dylan, but then afterwards he was telling this to Mel Evans to write them down, and I don't think there was anything after that. Buddy, there are female backing vocal singers on Egypt Station. Yes. Tony says, I forgot. That's okay. Listen, there's so many things to remember. You can't remember everything, you know?
It's great. It's great to have that comments and we can look back and remember. So
yeah. Jared said, didn't Diane Kroll do some backing vocals on Kisses? No,
she did not. Okay. She just plays piano. Right. I checked the credit.
Yeah.
No, maybe she did uncredited. I don't know, but
right. Matthew says, first star of the night is so amazing. My favorite is also amazing. Window into the bass playing prowess. Incredible. One of the things on my honorable mentions is that amazing guitar solo towards the end of first star of the night. I think it's fantastic. It's something I think you would hear maybe on a Jackson Browne album or something like that. You know, he talked about Never Know being like his tribute to the Laurel Canyon scene, which I don't hear at all. But First Star of the Night is the song that I feel is kind of like his ode to the Laurel Canyon.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. 10-hour live stream. Yes, celebrating 10th anniversary of Two Legs. Yes, it's there's going to be some good stuff. Let's see here. Tony said the song Caesar Rock has Caroline and backing vocals. There you go. I did contact Agent Secure last week about his view on Dungeon Lane. He did say he was so busy with Volume 3 that he couldn't air his view publicly. Yeah, I know, and yes, and he is working on Volume 3 with our friend Alan Kozin, and we couldn't be more excited that they got the book deal to do Volume 3. So. Tony says, could it be about Heather? Why would he be writing about Heather? I don't know. I think he's already done enough of writing with Heather. Per Mama Gets By, listener Mazzy took him to task and declared the song a portrait of a generation of hardworking, pub-soaked men and the woman who propped them up.
Nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, I like that a lot, and that's something you wouldn't see here in the States these days. You would not, if somebody's not pulling their weight, it's okay, bye. Let's see here. Great album. Or Jared says, great album pacing for Dungeon Lane. Watt and Macca did well with the album pacing to end with Mama Gets By is genius, and yeah, and that's my number 5. And Mama Gets By, specifically, I mean, love everything about the song, but the orchestration throughout that song for me is some of the most beautiful orchestration that he's ever had on any of his albums. I love how the track kind of is like an ode to Backseat of My Car. You really get that Backseat of My Car feeling at the beginning of Mama Gets By, but that orchestration, especially when he starts singing She Loves Him, that beautiful organ just comes in. And again, it's so much more powerful when you're listening to it with headphones. It's just a very moving song. Again, I love everything about it, but the orchestration from Ben Foster for me is could be one of my favorite things about this album.
Agreed. I'm gonna have to come up with something different because I see you go. I'll say this. I'll say this about the album that we haven't talked about yet, and this is going to get some blowback, I'm sure. I think this album has some of McCartney's best vocals of all time because he allows himself to be vulnerable at times. "Mama Gets High" for is a good example, where there's bits of that song where you think he might not have put out that way before, but he does here. And I know his voice has changed and aged,
right?
But it works. These songs need that voice. His voice, to me, fit the album perfectly. And again, from the opening talking right through the whole album, I think it's strong vocals. And because I agree everything with what you said about "Mama Gets High," or sorry, "Mama Gets By" and "Mama Gets High," but "Mama Gets By." I love that track. I think it's one of the most, since "Backseat of My Car," one of the best closing tracks. McCartney, it rivals anything.
I think it's the best closer in his solo catalog.
I mean, it's up there with "Backseat of My Car" because I love that song.
Yeah, well, so do I. But I don't get that. I don't get that feel. I mean, just the way that song makes me feel. "Mama Gets By" makes me feel.
I agree. But Tom, isn't that the best thing about this album right now? Is that it's listening to it over and over, and I mean, it's just so good, good.
So good.
And that's what I think Tony put on Facebook. This is the album that we need right now. Ringo's album too, Brampton's album. We need this kind of stuff because it's really scary out there, and I love it. I really, really love this album. In fact, if this album was a person, I would take it out for a date. But I mean.
Well, we might have to be fighting over her then. Anyways, is what the reason none of these songs are too long? Maybe. That's not to say that if there is another album that no song, the songs might be a little longer. Who knows? But it could be a reason. Could be a reason. 40 says "Mama Gets By" equals Ma Caldwell, Roy Storm's mom. Same hints in lyrics, though I'm guessing maybe composite portrait. PM still visited Ma Caldwell till she died. I did not know that. Yeah, I did not know that. Man, you guys are great with the comments here today. Do you think we'll get anything other than "Days We Left Behind" live? Ollie says. You know what? The two songs that I think would knock the house down would be "Come Inside" live, and then "Mountaintop." What do you think, Aaron?
I took the words right out of my mouth. I would think so. Those would be showstoppers. I mean, really, and I think he could go do most of the album live, quite frankly. I don't think A, it would be that hard, and B, because I never talked about McCartney's guitar on this album because I think he's one of the most underrated and best guitarists ever to live. And I don't think he gets near it. I mean, look, we all know he's a genius with bass.
Right.
He's also an amazing guitarist. I mean, Taxman.
Yeah.
So, So, anyways,
Go ahead. Keep going.
I mean, look, he could do "Days We Left Behind" and then do "Now and Then" and then go into, Mama.
Well, I mean, you look at So again, like another honorable mention is the guitar in "We Too."
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
I just love that feel. I mean, I like the feel. I mean, the song kind of has like a Driving Rain feel to me for that one, especially with the tape loops being rewind, the tape
at being the end,
because there's a lot of those sound effects on Driving Rain as well. So it kind of has a little bit of that feel to me. But yeah, there's some fantastic, this guitar playing in Mountaintop too.
Yeah,
really good.
And just for the record, I know a lot of people don't like Driving Rain. I love Driving Rain. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's his best album of all time, but I would say go back and listen to it because there's a lot on that album too that you might have missed. So.
Yeah. That mama is sequenced right after Salesman Saint is quite interesting as they mine similar themes. One points to a personal view of parental generation, and the other a more universal view. Okay, okay, I like that.
I do too.
Yeah, yeah. James says, Aaron, spot on with your analysis and conversation piece. Very good, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks,
I'll
Tom.
need to know the date on that 10-hour show. Yeah, it's going to be sometime in August. Sometime in August. It might be on a Saturday. It might be on a Saturday. Tony says, Heather Eastman McCartney, not Mills. Could she be the child in Mama Gets By? I mean, again, it's possible, but that story again, the Paul and Linda story with him, it's very early in their relationship. Again, I think that this is kind of a more of a relationship that's been intact for a few years. And yes, I get that Heather was older at the time, but again, I know people want to make it fit, but I just, until he comes out and says, yes, this is about, Linda and I'm just not necessarily ready to say that, Laura says, I love the tracks of my years interview where Paul and the interviewer say, you can't help but joining in on Don't You Want Me, Baby. I missed it. I really, I need to go back and watch some of these interviews because I've, a lot of these interviews that he's had in the past are very cringeworthy, in my opinion. But I've been hearing really good stuff about these interviews for the promotion of this film. Black Bear says, First Star of the Night is my favorite track off the album. I would not, I think that's fantastic. I love that track as well. And Zapplecore, how you doing? In your opinion, what song on Dungeon Lane would be great live? Well, we talked about that already. Yeah, we did say Mountaintop and Come Inside.
Down South too. Down South.
What's that?
Down South would be good live.
Yeah, Down South. Okay, Down South. 1985 is like a day in the life, the ultimate closing songs. Yeah, I know a lot of people love 1985 as a closer. So do we. And a day in the life, yeah, I think might be the ultimate in a closing track. But we're talking, solo career here. I don't think there's any denying that probably A Day in the Life is probably the greatest closing track of all time on any album, maybe.
Do you know what's a good closing track is Baby's Request on Back to the Egg? And you know what would be a good idea?
But what about Morris Moose and the Grey Goose off London Town?
I love that song.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jer says, Aaron's right. The world is a very bad place, and the music is badly needed to help. But is it because this is the music that we're getting? Is it's from artists that are like what's the term for food that we comfort food? Yes. All these artists are like comfort food. I mean, that's why we rely on their music so much, maybe to bring us joy in our life. I don't know.
Maybe, but like I just bought the new Frampton album, and I'm not the biggest Frampton fan. I love the new album. I think it's great. I love it. And there's so many great new albums coming out. It gives you that kind of, you're right, it's comfort, but it's also a chance. Like Ringo's album is very much about peace and love, right? Like it's
right.
Even the song Long Long Road, where he's kind of saying, look, yeah, you can't, and McCartney's saying the same thing, you can't get the past back, but
right.
You got here now and you got the future. And for some of us, that future is dwindling,
Right. So. Yeah. We are an hour and 44 minutes in. We're going to probably go another 16 minutes and call it a day. Again,
or
guys, another day. We'll call it another day. Very good. But this comment from Buttercup, I think, is fantastic. I feel like Mama Gets By is the back seat of the car couple's next chapter.
Ooh.
You know, that could be the observation of the day right there. I really like that, and I'm going to give that some thought, Buttercup. I love that. I love that.
Too. I do too.
Yeah, Richard, he would never dare doing Mountaintop Live. Well, we don't know that. We don't know that. Let's see here. Gavin says, I think Never Know would be great live. I think they could do it. Well, I think so too.
He could do the whole album live. He should go out
Yeah.
and do the album and then do greatest hits in the second part of the show. That's my.
There you go. I like that. Too weird for general public. What, Mountaintop? Never know. I mean, I know we know. Yep, we got you, girl. We got you. Damn it. Come on. Oh man. Anyways, okay, here we go. Black Bear says, when Paul sang "She Loves You" from "Mama Gets By," it reminded me of when he's saying "She Loves Him" from "Mama Gets By," reminded me of one of my best friend's descriptions of his mom holding his dead dad's hand. Well, I can't. That's very moving. I don't know if I can read all of that.
That's making me cry. So.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the first time I listened to the album, Andrea started crying during that song. Just sobbing. And I kept thinking, okay.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, in her mind, she's going, even though it's complicated and buys 20 copies of the same album,
I love him.
She loves.
Does he need the Japanese pressing of the Obi strip? I don't think he does, but I love him.
Yeah. Blackbird, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. James, the chip shop interview was fun. Yeah, I gotta check all these out.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah. I went there to be. No, wait. Sorry. I want there to be one song about Linda on the album. Maybe it's Lost Horizon. Well, you know what? You keep digging,
I think there's more than one song about Linda on the album. I think that she comes up more than we know. And I think, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but read on, like there's so much of this album that you don't get in one listen. You just don't. And Tom's right. Headphones help, but there's a lot going on in this world. McCartney's not the world, because the world is a mess, but Paul McCartney's world on this album, there's a lot going on. And bless him, I say.
Yep. Jared says Lil M Dragonfly ending the double album version of Red Rose is brilliant too.
You're right. That's a good point. I agree. One of the best songs they ever wrote. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. James says I had the same idea as Aaron about Paul playing all of Dungeon Layout live, and then right.
Wouldn't that be awesome, James? That'd be great.
Yeah. Jared says, Tom, you should tell Aaron about Gabby's dad with us in the car, nearly running you down in the Weston Cleveland. Yeah. So we get there. We're first of all, I book the hotel. Okay. I have no clue if any of the gang is staying there. Okay. I just book it because it looked like a nice place to stay. And it was less than a mile away from the Hall of Rock, if you will. And so we're, me and my girlfriend were riding up there. All of a sudden we see this another car coming up, and I saw this hand coming out of the window, and then it just like I look out, and then here comes Jer walking out, and then I saw Gabby and then her family, and it was just really cool way to begin the trip there. So I thought that was a lot of fun. Yeah. So yes. So thanks to Gabby's dad for almost running us down, but it was fantastic. Tony says a few new stories in Luca's Parazzi's London Town book. Yeah, and that's Luca. Has been very prolific of late. As well with his writings, and Andy and I, we have the London Town book. We would love to get Luca back on, and we're going to try.
And Luke is the reason why, and the other McCartney Legacy books are the reasons I will never touch McCartney in a book. I mean, I might write a book about, someone who said hi to Paul. Actually, D. Long of Klaatu told a very funny story about working with George Martin in London. He worked with George Martin for 5 years. And Paul McCartney came in and he said, well, you're in Klaatu, right? And he goes, well, I was. He goes, yeah. Can you stop nicking our band?
That's funny.
Yeah, everyone laughed and had a good chuckle.
Yeah. James says, Lost Horizon is the song that has grown on me the most. And that's, I'll tell you, since I've been listening to this album, I don't think there's one bad song on this album, okay? There's songs that I might not like as much as some of the other songs, but for me, there's no skips on this album at all. And the same goes with like Lost Horizon. I know Lost Horizon and Down South I've noticed online chatter that it's the two songs that kind of get thrown to the bottom, that they might not be everybody's favorites, and that's fine. I mean, that's going to happen. But for me, there's totally no skips on this album. And I think that's why I speak so highly of this album, because I don't see where the skips are on this album.
I agree. I said as much in my review I wrote for Spill Magazine. There's not a weak second on here. Like, everything needs to be here. As you say, there's some songs you might prefer to others, and it's an album. Like, it's really an album, right? That you want to listen to from beginning to end. Egypt Station was the same for me. McCartney 3, I was okay skipping around a bit, but Egypt Station, I loved that album so much. Again, I'd buy it a coffee. I don't know if I'd date it, but I would definitely buy a coffee.
Very good, my friend. Very, very good. Gabby says us running into in the parking garage was a highlight for sure. Absolutely. Ali says We Too was a grower for him. I think at first you might be right. At first, at listen, it might not have been one of my favorite tracks on it. But the more I listen to it, and the more I've grown to appreciate the do, his guitar playing in that track, I've really come to like that song more and more as I kept playing the album.
Yeah,
last night I dreamed of you. I like that line too. Last night I dreamed of you, and all that we can do.
Yeah. It's to me, it's an album. Plain and simple. And again, I love McCartney 3. I love Egypt Station. I love everything. But that's kind of maybe, I don't know why. I could probably go into why I did, but it's a fantastic album.
Yeah. James says, I agree, Tom. No clunkers on this album. Yeah. And he says, it's not about Paul and Linda. Nancy would not like that. Well, we don't know that. Also, he got high, but she didn't support the family. And that's another thing too. Linda wasn't really working at that point in time in their relationship as well. I mean, we all know that she's a fantastic photographer, and she was doing that pre hookup with Paul. But I mean, it's not like Paul was down and out, and then she all of a sudden she just took a bunch of jobs, going out and doing photography, or you know what I mean. So I mean that's a good point too, and that's one that I thought of, but just forgot to mention. So good job on that. Don't say that, Aaron. You could write about Paul.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
I mean, listen, he's got 2 books out now, right? One about Ringo, one about George. Let's get a John book. Let's get a Paul book. Come on, guys.
Jude Jude Sunderland always is like, when are you going to write a book about John's solo career? I'm like, it's been covered, Jude. There's nothing I could come up with in that book. So, I mean, you know what? I never say never. I shouldn't say never. So we'll see what's around the bit. Well, let me get the Klaatu book out of the way, and then maybe I'll do a book.
We've got a fantastic idea, a show lined up with Jude that she presented to us with her current research, and we're really looking forward to doing the show with her. And it's gonna be it'll be a little controversial. It'll be a little controversial.
I love Jude, so I'll be watching. Jude is so kind to me. She's I watched her. She did a thing about John Lennon's Christ statement and the Maureen Cleave interview, and that was really good.
Yeah.
So she's in Ireland right now. I keep saying to her, look, if you go to Dublin, Linda can set you up with some free tickets for some museums. So she's lovely. So.
Right. Yeah, she's fantastic, and her husband Rand is great as well.
Rand is great. I mean, he's like Andrew putting it on me.
Yeah, no clunkers on the album. Thank you, Jer. Ripples in a Pond on the third listen hit me between the eyes, and I was like, the starry eyes. Yeah, again, I think it's one of the best songs on the album. Could We Too be about friendship, or is it about a romance song? It could be both, I think. That's the great thing about a lot of Paul songs too, is that he leaves it up to you to interpret it any way you want to. I mean, if you feel like that's about a friendship, or a romance, then however it hits you, go with it. I say. So,
well, I mean, that's what again, not trying to draw like D Long from Klaatu. We were talking about a song. I said, well, I always thought this song was about John Lennon. And he goes, well, if it's about John Lennon to you, it is, but it really is about something else. But he goes, once the song's out there, if you interpret it that way, that's what, you're not wrong. It's not like someone's going to say, oh no, you got it wrong. I don't know.
Right. All right. Question here. We got like 4 minutes left to go. Should I open the silver vinyl?
To make me feel bad?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Should I open the silver vinyl? I was considering leaving it sealed, but what do you guys think? Should I open it? Should I leave it sealed? And I'll show it here live. James says only one thing wrong with the album. The cover is a bit shit.
You have to do what your heart feels right.
Yes.
So, I mean, I didn't open up all my Morrisseys, all the variants. So
yeah. I think I might just leave this sealed. Maybe I'll open it in a future live stream with you guys. But I think for now I'm just gonna leave the silver. Okay, there's Matthew. You only live twice. Great James Bond reference there. So since you did that, okay. Open the silver. Here we go.
Yeah, I just have the black one up here with me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to open the silver against my better judgment, but
well, now you've done. I wouldn't have opened it myself. But.
Blackbeard brings up something that I like here. When Paul is saying I go back so far and in front of me, he's not lying. I got to tell you something. I'm not the biggest fan of the song World Tonight. World Tonight. You are? Well, okay, of course you are. But but I think that is one of the best lyrics he has ever written in his career. I love that line. I was thinking you open it well, you know what? It's too late now, Gabby. So here it is, the silver vinyl for your eyes only. If we're gonna keep going with the James Bond puns here. So there you go. Look at that. That is
beautiful.
It is pretty.
Beautiful.
Pretty. Yeah. Wasn't one of the McCartney 3 Imagines in silver, I think. Or you know what? No. Maybe what I'm thinking. No, the Pipes of Peace. When he was doing the color vinyl, the Pipes of Peace was silver.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. McCartney 3 Imagines is an album that doesn't get on my turntable a lot. I'm just gonna say
right. Okay. No, same here. We're gonna close. We're gonna close with this particular this particular line here, Beetle Eddie. You know, I am a defender of the song "For You." Okay, now during he did say prior to Egypt Station's release that he did have like a very raunchy song on the album, and I do kind of believe that maybe he toned it down a little bit because what is he saying? You know, I just want to, you know, fuck you, which I think, you know, people want to believe that maybe he meant something else. Because if you do listen to the song, you know, I just want to, but go ahead, Aaron. What are your thoughts?
Well, you could also interpret it as I just want it for you.
Right. And that's the thing, is because if you listen to the lyrics, I just want to know how you feel. You make me want to go out and steal. And so on. And he goes, I just want it, you know, for you, but it comes out for you. I think I love the song. I really love the video. Okay.
Oh, the video's great.
You know, listen, I've met people in my life. I've met, you know, women or whatever. I've had, you know, a girlfriend or two in my life that after I've met them, I just, you know, after I met them and then have left to go home, I had broken down in song, you know. And that's what this kid does, you know, on his way home after, you know, getting that first kiss from that girl, right? He's on his way home and he's just got a smile on his face singing a song. And I think that's one of the great things about music. You know, it just expands on, you know, our feelings, you know, as we celebrate joy or sadness or comfort, you know, in our lives. And, you know, and I'll defend For You until the day I die.
I used to go home after a day singing Smith songs, but we won't go into that story.
Oh, what she said to me. Caligula would have blushed.
Couldn't resist that
joke. In the house too long, she said.
I couldn't resist the joke.
Yeah, no, I get it. All right, guys. You know, all of you guys, fantastic stuff today.
Thanks,
yeah, wasn't For You a part of the set? Yes, it was, and I loved it. I loved him doing For You live. Yeah, he did kind of make me look like Andy a little bit, the kid in the video. Yeah. So everybody out there, thank you for joining us this week on the
Thank you, guys.
Macca break. Hopefully, I'll be back again next Wednesday. Maybe Aaron will join again. Hopefully, if he's not doing anything.
I'm always available. Thank you for having me. I'm always available. Yeah.
Yes. And you know, thank you again for joining. If you haven't, please hit that
subscribe.
Everything is good to see you all, and we will see you soon. And keep listening to that album. Keep enjoying that album, and we'll talk soon. Take care.
Bye.